insect Newick review of Zhou 2022. Probably this is a preprint. It has now been published. Phylogeny of Domestidae beetles, including carpet beetles. Data is on Drive, download dataset, and we get some alignments, some figures, and some Newicks. So I've obtained one of these. Well, perhaps we first look at the figure. Now the labeling in the figure, it looks. I'm part way through processing this, and this seems to be how they've labelled both the figure and the Newick tree. Now we have a look at this. Immediately we see some problems. So we have, for instance, a tribe, and we have 3 terminals for this tribe, all from the same species. And as expected, this gene flow within species. These species are going to be identical, near identical. So why do we need 3 of these? This should have been reduced to just 1 to represent the species. So we have unnecessary duplications. Again. So we have a lot of, going to have to do quite a lot of pruning of these species repeats. Second thing, we have terminals labeled just to the genus level. This is pretty common certainly for beetles. These are very diverse and not enough experts to tell you what the species are, so you're going to see this a lot. So we have, but these terminals, we have just the genus name, but we have some codes. So we have starts with a code. Well, all of the terminals start with a code. We have a taxonomic name, and then we have some additional information. We have a number, which could mean anything, but we have what looks to be, well, we have geographic information. Now this can be either a name of a country, or presumably this is a abbreviation of Australia here. So we have inconsistent geographic formatting. So we have either name of a country, abbreviated name of a country, and say a state or something. And we have a general location within the country, or just a country. Again, we have west, either the full word or SW, to southwest. And we have numbers or species names. And we have the word lab. Numbers before the country. I don't know what this is. Maybe this is a sub-region. No number before country. We have species ambiguous terminal with a number on it, or just SP. Some of them have GRP for some reason. These are, although with genus and species, no country name. Some of them have no codes. A lot of them have codes, some of them do not. So this is all pretty inconsistent, and this is not going to be easy to pull out. Firstly, these should be fielded. Now I'd recommend like just a vertical. This character is a we call this a delimiter. Now, if this was used to delimit these different components, this makes it a lot easier to pull out the different fields. So could have a delimiter between the code and the taxonomic information, and another delimiter between the taxonomic information and the geographic information, which are the three main fields that seem to have used here, although occasionally this seems to be other odd things on there, like lab and group, abbreviation of group, which can't really, it's not information which can be used really, although it could be no doubt useful during the development of the study. The idea that such things would be removed in the final product. And also we have these look like NCB accessions, and we have underscore and a number underscore before the taxonomic information. So all pretty inconsistent labeling. It's going to be quite awkward to parse. But I've made a start of this. So cat this file and we can take a look. So we have, for sort of node labels, we have two components separated by a /. This is a standard way to do this, and we have a branch length. So I would just remove these, not needed for synthesis really. And the labels are quoted, which is also fine, common way to do this. Now sometimes you'll see single quoting if there's spaces used in the terminal IDs, and you'll see trees with both terminals quoted and not quoted. Some software will do this, but in this case these are all, there's no, I don't see any spaces in, but these are quoted anyway. This makes it a bit easier. If you have these complex IDs, then if they're quoted, you can make it a bit easier to pull out these terminal ID strings. But still, these are, if these were fielded, these would be a bit easier. Anyway, so I've made a start of the code, and you can see quite a variation in the formatting. So we have, so for some reason, a lot of they start with a code, and they always start with the same thing, 25 hyphen, and which to me seems, so that's 3 characters too long in my opinion. If it starts with all the identical things, and I don't really see the point in this. But then we have a number and an underscore, genus, species, and country. So this one's not pretty easy to parse, but then we have abbreviated country and a abbreviation for the sub location. So we have species names, and without species names denoted by SP, which would be normal, but in this case we've also got, without the SP, just got some number in there, then abbreviated geographic information, code, genus, species, country information. Then we've got GRP and a number. I don't think this is really useful information for terminal ID. This should have been, again, this kind of thing should be removed as the data is finalized. Genus, no species identified, and just a number. This is a bit concerning, so we have genus and then go straight to the country. Now if you're told you might assume single uppercase, multiple lowercase underscore, single uppercase, multiple lowercase. This would, some cases, this would be a genus followed by a subgenus. Well, in this case, this is a genus followed by a country. So this really should be fielded to denote these, these are. And then we have genus, number, country, GRP again. And then we have AU, probably presumably Australia, but WA and SA. So we have the country abbreviation is followed by two presumed sub-regions. RSA, I don't know, this is lab. Why is this? I don't know why we need to see the word lab on these. So various different formats. Now let's run this. Now this is not completed. It's only part way. So those set of those set of 22 regular expressions take care of most of the terminals, but you can see we've still got a few. Still need to write a few more here. So just progressively copy these through over, and so we've got the code starting with 25, got a genus name, then we've got a number, in this case is multiple, then we've got two uppercase, and two more cases of the same thing. And we just need the genus name and add underscore SP. Okay, so we've got them all, we've passed all the terminals now. So you can see now we've got a lot of duplicate terminals. So for the current purpose, we've got a lot of terminals from the genus Trogoderma, and no species information for these. Now this is not really informative without species. Now the authors, of course, they put geographic information on there. If someone was very knowledgeable about this genus, then they may garner some insights from these. But for synthesis, for automated integration of different data sets, that geographic information is not going to help. So we'll just and without this, these are uninformative, so these all need to be pruned. So we've got quite a lot of pruning to do. So quite copious repeated information in this tree. Particularly these, I think a lot of these species repeats are unnecessary. So 262 terminals of the genus Trogoderma without species information. And it's pretty limited what we can do with this. Although, of course, it can be. In fact, this is the aim of the study. This is the aim of the study, that this genus is polyphyletic. So it is a purpose to having this, but just for the purpose of synthesis, this can't be used, which is why I would opt to prune these. So considerably smaller tree after pruning. Now we're down to about 114 terminals. I prune them. Now you can see what's remaining. They're all just the taxonomic information, no codes, no geographic information, genus and species, and I've only retained species ambiguous terminals where that's the only representative of that genus. All others pruned. And from a figure, the outgroup Cladder, Lictus, so this is an unrooted tree. We need to click, I guess, here to get the same orientation. Okay, so Geotel 2022, 2 families, 15 genera, 114 terminals after processing. Tree in a publication is a lot more than this, but a lot of the terminals can't be used in synthesis. Now, processing the terminal IDs was rather awkward, but worth it to now have this phylogeny for a understudied component of the insect tree of life. So, job done.